What's up everyone, Sean Count Blackguard here today with another album review. This time it is part 2 of the Tom G. Warrior discography. This is the 1983 demo through Prowling Death Records of Triumph of Death by Hellhammer. As I stated in the last video, this demo was recorded in the same session as Death Fiend, the previous demo. And so if you watched the last video, I pretty much stated about the production on this. It sucks. It's awful. It's really bad, to put it bluntly. You can tell it was recorded in an old Fallout bunker. It's just really bad. But at the same time, you could tell there's genuine heart in it. But this demo stands out above that one, despite the holdback of this being a bass-dominant demo. And instead, with this one, you get a lot of really, really good songs. The last one, it had good songs and they were catchy, but it wasn't really Hellhammer sort of material, so to speak. It wasn't on par with the previous, it wasn't really on par with the later works of Hellhammer. With this, you get a lot more of really good songs. This demo opens up with Crucifixion, and Crucifixion is one of those Hellhammer songs that everyone knows and everybody remembers. It is just a really, really solid song, extremely heavy. This is one of the heaviest things I've heard from the early 80s. It is just absolutely crushing in multiple ways, not only in just a sonic sense, but in more of a atmospheric sense. You can tell that there's a lot of early signs of what would become black metal on this, and even more so on the following releases. But with that said, this is really a hard to describe album. I don't want to use the term thrash metal because it's not really thrash metal. I don't want to say death metal because it's not really death metal. And I guess you could kind of call it proto black metal, and I hate proto terms, but that's the best way to describe this. Once again, it's kind of like Death Fiend, where it has those really thrashy sort of headbangable moments and it's a fun listen, but there's points on this album where it gets absolutely frightening. Once again, you have Maniac on here. You get Crucifixion when Hell is Near, Decapitator. It starts to get very dark midway through this, and that is when Power of Satan and one of my absolute favorite tracks by Hellhammer, Reaper, come into play. These two songs bring forth a more doomy and blackened element to the table, much more so than the Death Fiend demo. And you could tell that the black metal and doomy sort of thing is kind of the direction that they're going to be going into. It is just an absolutely ominous, dark, frightening piece of music, and it is absolutely amazing. The songwriting on this and the musicianship at times is on par with Death Fiend, which basically means it's very low, but in terms of what the later recordings were, it's not that good, but the later half of this demo is really when the musicianship shines, and you can see the direction that they're going to go into with the following demo, which is, of course, Satanic Rites. This is a very good demo as well, but it kind of is held back once again in the production department, and it's kind of held back into it has the same sort of sound as the previous, but as I said in the last video, this is technically speaking, the first official release that Hellhammer did, because Death Fiend wasn't actually released to the public. This was first. So with that in mind, I can't really judge it saying that it should be different sounding from that, because it was recorded in the same session, and technically speaking it's the same demo, just with some tracks taken and some added. Really great stuff. Ready for Slaughter, Hammerhead, just some absolutely fantastic songs. Blood Insanity, of course, the title track, Triumph of Death. Such a good song. If you guys really want to hear the roots of black metal and of just extreme music in general, this demo is for you. Once again, for a score on this one, I am feeling an 8 on this. It's better than Death Fiend in the sense that it's written much better, but at the same time, it suffers from the same problems that the last demo had, Death Fiend had. So, if you want to look at it that way, then yeah, this demo, it's not that good. But for what it is, it's awesome. If you guys want to learn about Hellhammer and go in chronological order, I definitely recommend you do that, because once when you hear the next demo, and of course the almighty Apocalyptic Raids, you're gonna think that this is pretty mediocre. But if you go in the grand scheme of chronologically, this is really good, and it showcases what this band is capable of and the direction that they're going. So as I said, a strong 8 on this one. Just like the last one, you can get this in the Hellhammer Demon Entrails box set vinyl. This is the picture disc. And of course you can get the double CD version that contains all of the demos. Whoa, vinyl almost fell. Yeah guys, this is something that I recommend to everyone, and maybe if you want to get a cassette version, I'm sure that you could find a cheap bootleg of it, but definitely pick this up. I can't recommend it enough, guys. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for subscribing, and as always, keep it metal.